Good morning, good afternoon and good evening. Welcome to the Nerds Club's first review, Resident Evil 3 Remake. Coming into Resident Evil 3, my expectations as a big fan of Resident Evil and Capcom's previous game Resident Evil 2 Remake having such critical success were high. The question is, were my expectations met, or did they end up going down the Raccoon City drain? Let's find out. First up is gameplay. Shooting still feels great as its predecessor shooting system is the exact same over-shoulder style. Although it has a lot more action to it, there are still times when I had to limit my ammo and be smart with the gunpowder, which is keeping it faithful to the original Resident Evil 3, which was more action heavy than its predecessor also. One game-changing mechanic is the dodge button. If you successfully time a dodge, you are rewarded with Max Payne-esque time slow, which will allow you to punish your enemy for trying to chomp on you. Admittedly, I found myself spamming the button a few more times due to being scared out of my mind, but I managed to actually use the dodge mechanic correctly and pull off some amazing dodges, which made me feel like a badass. It's a great mechanic for the casual gamer and speedrunners alike. Nemesis, as you imagine, is also a core part of the game. Now Nemesis does have a few tricks up his trench coat. He can jump around like crazy in the streets, tentacle pulls you towards your doom, and what seems to be an endless amount of rocket and flamethrower fuel. Now because the game runtime is quite short, it can appear that Nemesis does show up often, but in fact I feel like we did not get to see enough of our Tyrant Stalker. We only got to experience him once or twice in the Streets of Raccoon, and then in the following types when an arena type boss battle. The boss battles were fun, although we only got to experience one boss but in different multiple forms, which for me took away from the game as I wanted to see the famous boss like Gravedigger. I feel like a bit more variety within this particular area would have been great. Puzzles. I love Resident Evil puzzles, as it's how you figure out how to move on to the next area. You have to earn it, but in Resident Evil 3 there are no puzzles. The closest we get is a train segment, find a clear train line to go into. For me this is a big blow, as in the original there were plenty of great puzzles to enjoy. The game seems to be missing a lot of its content from the original, which I could usually forgive if it's replaced, but it wasn't. It kind of ruined the pace of the game and it made the game feel rushed. Within Resident Evil 3, you will take control of both Carlos and Jill. Both have different aspects of play. When Carlos uses the dodge button, for example, I found him haymaking beta hunters across the room, which although made me laugh the first time, I did remind me of Chris punching boulders in Resident Evil 5. To summarise, the main difference between Jill and Carlos is Jill's gameplay is much more focused on survival horror, and Carlos is more action-packed horror, which if I'm honest, I did enjoy it. It changed up the pace up, and I found myself wanting more and more. On the PC, the game looked great. The characters within the game sometimes looked human in the cutscenes, and I would sometimes forget I was playing a game and not watching a TV series. The environments tell a story. If you place close attention to your surroundings, you can find hunters' marks on the walls with tons of dead bodies, blood trails with dead bodies, teddy bears and wheelchairs, and which gives the game a mature feel. All of the characters within the game were really well modelled. I completed the game with the standard models and I would have to say they're really well done. Something that I picked up on that really impressed me was how dirty Jill got. No, not like that. As you progress through the game, Jill and Carlos both got dirtier, with blood and scratches on their arms, armour and clothes, which really again done a good job at immersing me into the game. Nemesis' new look is great. Him slowly mutating as the game continued was interesting and had me wondering how far he could go. The final boss form for me is one of my favourite forms of bosses I've seen in a Resident Evil game. Graphically, the game is pleasing. The lighting has been done really well done and really adds extra to the spooky factor. You can be looking down a dark alleyway and at the end of the tunnel is a store neon light shining on you. Your mind will play tricks walking down the alley. Is there zombies or am I missing loot? What could possibly go wrong in the dark? Everything from a graphic standpoint complements the gameplay, which is a testament to Capcom's great visual team. This game takes place 2 months after the incident at the Spencer Mansion. The city is infested with flesh-eating zombies and Umbrella's terrifying bioweapons. Jill's the main protagonist and has several layers to the character, with her fighting PTSD from the incident and sleeping issues, while trying to save the residents of Raccoon City, which made me fall in love with the character more. The story follows Jill trying to avoid the Umbrella-created tyrant Nemesis, who had been created with one mission in mind, to kill all remaining star members, Jill being one of them. The story is the same as the original, but it fleshes out the lore and the characters, but not through gameplay, but through the files you find. In fact, they cut a lot of content and replaced it with files. I would say my main gripe with the game is the ending. It felt lackluster. There also seemed to be a pacing issue from the last of the third game when you take over Jill in the hospital. It really rushes the story, and when you complete it you can tell it needed more time. Resident Evil 3 Remake is majorly high quality and is an impressive game, but felt really short and lacked a lot of content. I personally bought my copy from Gamersgate for £38.99, and if the game did not include the Resident Evil Resistance, I personally would have felt I did not get my money's worth. Of course there is replayability by playing in a different costume and doing certain challenges, but for the average consumer I would wait until the game goes on sale. I can't help but feel sad for the game. It's missing loads of content from the actual story to no extra content like mercenaries or different game mode, which every main installment of the Resident Evil series has had. Overall, Resident Evil 3 is a 6.5 out of 10.